Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
I'm Michael.
And today Mike's going to tell me all about cargo, and then we're going to get real deep into Westworld, because we're bored in Ohio. Tell me about cargo.
Okay, so it's on Netflix.
See, I thought when you initially told me about this, I thought you meant Fargo, because Martin Freeman is also in the first season of Fargo.
You know, I never did watch that show. Is it any good?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Did they only do 3 seasons? It wasn't.
I think they only have.
McGregor's in like the.
He's in the third.
Third.
And I haven't seen the third yet. I've seen the first 2.
Is it still going?
I think it has stopped after 3, but I don't know if that is forever.
So Cargo, which stars Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins. You might have seen a trailer for it at some point. It was a Netflix original movie. It's about a husband and wife zombie apocalypse.
Oh,
in Australia.
This is the movie that we couldn't figure out the title of.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 48 hours later or something.
Oh yeah.
But that's an Eddie
Cargo.
Murphy movie.
That is an Eddie Murphy movie.
So it came out and you watched it.
It came out like I want to say a month ago on Netflix.
Okay.
And I'd had it in my queue forever, and then one night I was like, I don't feel like doing anything else. I just want to watch a movie. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this is on there. It's a drama. There's not a lot of action any way, shape, or form in it. It is horror, but it's not your typical full-blown gore and zombie mayhem at all, which was nice. It's set in Australia. And it shows you in the trailer, his wife gets bit.
Yeah.
She then, because he's trying to keep her alive, trying to get her to some place where they think that they could help her. I guess there's some hospital somewhere. They never do really touch base where the hell that is again. Anyway, in the process of him trying to get him and his baby little girl and his wife to wherever this hospital is, she ends up turning and bites him. Well, then now you know there are symptoms, and they portray it like this has been going on for I don't know how many years. They even have little survival tip cards. So when you get bit, if you're at stage 1, 2, 3, or 4 or whatever. And they even give you a thing that'll, if you want to kill yourself, some sort of injection thing, you put it at your temple or whatnot to take yourself out. So it's well thought out. Yeah. It's weird the way that they turn into zombies. This isn't ruining anything, but they get some sort of, like when you get pink eye. You ever had pink eye and it kind of glazes over your eyelids? Think about that, but it glazes over your entire face. Ew. Yeah, it's really gross. So anyway, the whole real movie is after he gets bit, he has
48 hours.
It's like 48 hours or something, and the symptoms get worse, and he's just trying to get his daughter somewhere, and he's in the middle of nowhere. No transportation, really. They try to do, just like Walking Dead, try to find a car that has gas. The boat they were on, I don't really know why they didn't stay on the boat. But anyway, it was good.
This is the same dude or director or whatever that did Babadook or something.
Is it?
I thought that was something I brought up last time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I could be wrong, but I thought that.
There wasn't, this is more of a, did you see the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Same kind of scenario?
No.
Except his daughter.
What this sounds like to me is Children of Men, but in a zombie format.
Yeah, and way less action. Like, almost none.
Which, I mean, Children of Men only had action really at the end. When they had that sweet
that's true.
one shot that really wasn't a one shot, but they did it so well. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Cool.
Cargo was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. I wouldn't watch it again.
Okay.
But
I would some time and you have Netflix.
I'd give it a watch. Yeah. It's a drama. It's a drama. They try to pull your heartstrings because this poor little Frodo just wants to get his little Precious.
his little hobbit.
Yeah, or Bilbo. I said Frodo. Yeah, but it was decent. I'd say watch it if you have time. It wouldn't even bother Kara to watch it. There's not really a superior horror aspect to it. It's more just about him trying to get her there before he completely changes and eats her.
I mean, valiant idea. Since we brought up Children of Men, there's actually a linking point from Children of Men to our next topic, our big topic, Westworld.
Spoiler alert ahead.
The guy who plays James Delos, he's in Children of Men.
That's where I recognize that guy from. I did not put that together. Well, I haven't seen Children of Men, which I own in forever.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I was wondering, I kept looking at that guy, and I didn't, usually when it happens, I look it up IMDb and say, all right, what's this guy been in? And I didn't do it.
The more I listened to his voice, I was like, I know you. And I started to like, Fuji face. Because he says that, he's like, put sad face, Fuji face, sad face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, okay. He's like, Sid doesn't know why you want to go in there. Sid doesn't care. It's like, okay, yeah, I like this even better now.
Yeah. What did you, I thought the second season was way better than the first season. Although I did like the park aspect and I wanted to see more of that playing out before the big turn. But I was way more intrigued and I was way more anticipating watching the next episode than I was the first season.
What I think they did more this season was they played a lot more with the non-linear storytelling in a way that wasn't as obvious. With Dolores, like I caught on 3 episodes before they revealed the Man in Black was William in her storyline and that these were 2 different timelines.
Okay, yeah.
But the stuff with Bernard, it took a minute. I was like, oh shit. Because then I was like, wait a minute.
Did you not think that there were multiple Bernards at the same time at one point? I did. For a while, I was like, there's 2 of them. Okay, that makes sense. There's copies, and they did.
Because we were going to talk about this like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got theories. I was like, Bernard. I feel like they tried to recreate Arnold, like they're showing with Delos. And I was like, what was the other thing I thought that Anthony Hopkins' character was still alive.
I hoped for that.
In the server.
Yeah.
But my theory with that was after they showed that episode where they were testing Delos to see if that host would survive with the actual human cognition. My theory was one host can't, but spread over many can.
Yeah.
So I thought Ford was using multiple hosts to stay alive, essentially. Like spreading his cognition over multiple, which you saw him talk through different hosts to William. So, but that is really just because he was in the server.
Yeah.
And he was able to connect with them.
Right.
But yeah, I saw both those things coming the same episode because they're really focusing on Bernard's tics and whatnot. And they made that a huge point in the Delos episode.
Yes,
he always,
they did.
like his pouring of the cream in the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, Bernard, they try to do this Bernard, but they explain that Bernard is basically, he's not an exact copy of Arnold.
Right.
They changed something.
Yeah, and it was mostly recreated from what Dolores remembers of him.
Yeah.
Which is all kind of... Do you like Dolores?
I did the first season. This season...
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I just don't even want you on the screen. I really felt... I'd rather see other people. You kind of irritate me. And I don't know if it was the way the actress is doing the character.
I think you're not really supposed to like her.
Yeah.
Because she's becoming the villain.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
So they needed you to feel that hardcore, like, okay, she's bad now. And you'd much more spend time with Maeve, who had a hero's arc this season, really.
Yeah.
Or Arnold, or to spend some more time in fucking Shogun World. I really liked Shogun World.
I really like that too. Hey, by the way, can you tell me real quick before I forget to ask you this? Because I didn't go back and check, but when I loaded up the last episode, she's laying there, Dolores is laying there holding Marsters.
Yeah.
When did he die?
He shot himself in the head.
How did I miss that? When did that happen?
It was at the end of an episode.
Why did he do it? I don't remember any of it. I must have flaked out or something.
Because despite the fact that she changed his code, he's still Teddy. His core, who he was, still was like came through. Yeah. And he said, I understand the world that you're trying to create, and I'll protect you the day I die. But I can't, this isn't me. Yeah. And he repeated that, I'll protect you to the day I die. Then he shot himself in the head.
I don't remember that at all. At all. What episode was it? What happened in the rest of that episode? How did I miss that?
I don't remember specifically what was
going on. I mean, so he didn't die the episode right before the last one?
Did this episode, did it start off with her, cradling his body?
Yep.
Then it happened the previous episode before that.
The odd thing is I saw that, and I'm like, when the fuck did he die? So I immediately stopped it. I'm like, shit, I jumped ahead. So I backed up and hit play on the one before that. I knew exactly, I've already seen this. Mm-hmm. So I somehow missed.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't, that show, because it's so thought-provoking. I don't have my phone out. I don't get bored. I really pay attention. I somehow missed it completely. That's why I was like, did they say he died without showing it? So I wanted to ask you where the hell that happened.
He definitely, happened on screen. I guess we should kind of give a rundown of this season, real overarching. Basically, it was a story of, the aftermath of season 1, the massacre at the unveiling of the new storyline. Dolores is hell-bent on seeking freedom for the hosts.
And killing off humanity.
Yeah, and killing off humanity because she knows that humanity won't let them live with them. Yeah. So, and she wants to take their world. So she's becoming a villain. Bernard, who's based off Arnold, is her foil. He's good, but we'll get back to him later. So the story is basically about hosts that are either trying to follow Dolores or hosts that just want out of this cage to be in their own world. Right. And then the humans trying to protect their intellectual property and the fact that they've been recording guests' data and trying to recreate guests in order to be able to sell them immortality. Yeah. That's basically the themes of the season. What I liked about this is, since we talked about the whole non-linear storytelling, the first season, Dolores was that. We kept on going back from her when William was young to present day, old William, and back and forth. This time they're doing it with Bernard, and I knew it was happening, but I didn't quite know which timeline, where we were at in the timeline.
Where the current one was, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was confused the hell out of me a lot, too.
I was they did a much better job, I knew that's what they wanted. Yeah. And then they give you the whole reveal on the finale of when each event took place. Right. But I knew something was different. I was because if you pay attention to when the Skarsgård brother shows up, whenever he's in a scene, and I was okay, this is definitely one timeline that involves whenever he showed up. Yeah. And everything else is prior. Right. So then I was able to start piecing some things together.
I was doing that too, but then I got really confused once they go down into the basement, and they were doing multiple timelines in that same area. like, because the Man in Black's coming down, Bernard and Dolores go down. And then there was another with
Captive Bernard with Hale and I was
like,
Skarsgård
I was
brother.
so like, what the fuck? I don't know where I'm at. And it was almost frustrating because I wanted to follow along, so I got it all. But yeah, no, and I really didn't like that that he remade Dolores to look, although it was a good twist. It was a good little, but I didn't want her taking over that character, and it's that actress playing her, and then they do the whole thing at the end where she somehow rebuilds herself.
Yeah, she's a fucking machine.
But why would she care what she looks like?
She wants to be her. It's part of her identity. So, some things I think are interesting. Season 1 was the story of Dolores's self-awareness. Season 2, you could argue, is Bernard's.
Yes.
Because in the end, he realizes it wasn't Ford talking to him after a certain point. He was imagining Ford talking to him so he could get through the idea of how to save the hosts. But it was really him all along. It was his own inner monologue.
Yeah.
So he kind of became self-aware, which I think is neat because they're setting them up to be good and evil moving forward.
Yeah.
Which also in that last episode, a really interesting theme that they just kind of threw in there pretty quick is Bernard killed Dolores, but then he knew after the fact, after he saw how humanity was, that he himself, with how he is, didn't have the ability to keep his species as hosts going.
Right.
So he brings Dolores back and gives her a chance. And through giving her a chance, she changed her mind about certain things. Like before that, she wanted to destroy what they were calling the Sublime, where all the hosts' data was going so they could live in a happy little world. But she changed her mind about that. It's like, okay, everyone should have their choice. And then she kills Bernard.
Yeah.
But then brings him back because she realizes she can't just try to be this benevolent ruler because it'll never work. She needs somebody to keep her in check. There needs to be a check and balance. So she brings back Bernard because he's her foil, her antithesis that'll keep her in check.
Yeah.
And which would probably keep her idea moving at a steady pace instead of her trying to just fucking kill humanity.
Kill humanity straight off, yeah.
Because it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
she would lose.
You got the light and the dark side of the Force, man.
Yeah, man. You got to get up in there.
You're excited about the third season?
I am.
I'm at the same place I was at the end of the last one.
But I think it's funny because you liked this season better.
Yeah.
But you ended at the same place.
But I ended at the same place. I'm not at the whole, God, I can't wait to see where this is going to go.
Well, I think what I'm most interested about is obviously they're going to do stuff in the real world.
Yeah.
But the park is still going on.
Yeah, that confuses me what they're going to be doing with that. I know because...
What's interesting about the whole park thing is they don't after that team was killed and the new team comes in, they don't know fuck all about what happened.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, let's save some of these hosts. So salvage them because they probably think Ford had sabotaged the host because he was pissed about being forced into retirement.
Well, except for the Hemsworth brother, he knows that that's Dolores and he lets Dolores go.
Yeah, but they're also heavily implying that he's a host.
Yes, I agree. It's just it hurts my head.
But so you have Park still in play, Real World's now in play, and then you have all those hosts that went to the Sublime, which is somewhere that could still come into play.
And then you have the End of the Future timeline also, where the Man in Black is.
Oh yeah, that after credits scene, I'm sure everyone was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, and it's way in the future. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, okay, if it's way in the future, why is his hand fucked up?
Because he's going through the same simulation over and over again. Yeah. Because they basically tell us that with Delos, like when they first go into the Forge, is what they were calling that, where all of the guest data is saved. The AI that looks like Delos' son explains that
no matter what,
he
always ends up back here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And William, Man in Black, he states, like, she asks why, why are you here, whatever. Like, he wants to prove that a system can't tell him who he is.
Yeah.
So people are arguing that his cornerstone, like his event like that, is when he kills his daughter on accident.
Oh, yeah.
So he keeps reliving to see if it happens again. So I think he's constantly going through the exact, like, the same week where he ended up killing his daughter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And obviously it's been happening for a long time because that's still down in the forge where he goes, and it's all, like, fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That tells you something about what happens at the park, I guess.
Yeah.
Either that or, I don't know.
Skynet took over.
Skynet. So, did you like Maeve's storyline this season? I mean, it's interesting that what's weird, there's some things that I don't think were paid off. Like, we're all randomly, Ford's like, you were my favorite.
Right.
Like, well, when did you ever show that ever?
Yeah.
But I guess you could say, like, his storyline of having her go out into the world, like, he was trying to get her to leave.
Right.
He kept saying, like, I was trying to get you out there, away from this. Could be that kind of fatherly love or whatever. Because I guess he brings that up, and then she stayed because she has the same feeling about her daughter, which is just,
Do you care about
robot. Not really.
No, I kind of find it stupid. And it's the correlation of the Native American guy who wants his, I guess, wife from one life that he was doing, and he remembers her, and he wants... I mean, I get it, though. I get it. They're, they're coming into their own. They're not... They're becoming self-aware, and so they have a feeling, quote unquote, for something that they've lived over and over and over again. It becomes their possession, right? I get it. I just don't care, and I was kind of hoping her character died.
She did, but they're gonna bring her back.
Right. I mean, I wanted her dead. I just don't want to follow her mind shit anymore.
The whole episode that was centered around Akichite or whatever his name is.
It was interesting.
I liked it.
Yeah.
What I liked about it is it shows that other hosts were coming to a realization that we're not main characters.
Yes, yeah.
And he came to a realization well before.
Yeah.
Some of them. So I thought that was cool. Some things I didn't like about this season, or that I think just don't really add up necessarily. I can't remember the guy's name, but the story, the script, the writer who was with Maeve the whole time.
Yeah.
When he has a sacrificial moment.
Yeah.
Seemed out of character.
Did you watch? Okay, so you didn't watch this. There is a behind-the-scenes featurette. It's on Dark Horizons. They released it at the end of the thing, I guess. And I watched it. It's 11 minutes long. They have the actors in it talking about the season once the whole thing was completely over. I think they waited a full week for people to catch up, and then they kind of talked about stuff.
Okay.
He is one of the guys talking on there, and he said the cool thing is that the original pilot is you were supposed to see what's his name? The guy that's in 300 that you...
I don't know his name, but yeah.
The other cowboy in black.
The bandit.
The bandit guy. He was supposed to actually, in the pilot, say that entire thing that he had written, his character wrote for him. That's like his big speech that he's supposed to say in the middle of shooting all that stuff. And one of the hosts acted off. Or no, actually, I think it wasn't a host. I think it was a guest. Ends up shooting him in the head. So he never got to fully say it in the pilot episode and he was supposed to, I guess. And I guess they made a tweak or something afterwards before they actually put the full one up there. So he was excited because he's like, This is a big. This character wrote this big thing. This big, I'm doing this all for whatever, and come get me. And it never got to be said. So his character would have been extremely excited because that moment never happened.
Yeah.
For him to be able to actually say it himself and suddenly gave a shit. I still don't quite understand why these humans suddenly give a shit and start helping some of these hosts.
Well, some I can like I
shit, sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to.
You punching our listeners?
I apologize. Yes.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, some of them won't let me inside.
Shit. So I'll knock politely. No, I got some of his, starting to care for Maeve, but not to the point of sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
Some of the other characters, like the two techs that were with them, the one in particular that had recreated a bird in the first season was he sees like the awe and all of it. So he was obvious from the get-go. The other guy, I don't know why he gives a fuck. He never gave a fuck.
He never gave a fuck ever, not once.
But all of a sudden, the last episode, he's like, when the new team comes in, like, corporate wants us to salvage as many of these as we can. Yeah. And they knowingly look over at Maeve and the bandit and the blonde gal with the tattoo, like they're just gonna bring him back.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck would he?
Yeah, why would he?
He wouldn't want that.
He was always out for his own ass ever since the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. It doesn't coincide with this character the way it's been the whole time, and that bothers me too. I don't know, man.
Does watching this season and how it ended make you want to rewatch the season? It does me because for a couple reasons.
All right.
With how that all came together and like them going into Sublime and then falling into the valley, and then
I did like that though.
The flood and all the bodies, and then you find out it's because they flooded the forge.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, so I want to see how that lines up. It actually makes me want to rewatch season 1. And I'll explain why. Whenever you see Dolores and Bernard doing their interview thing, they did that all season 1.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders, did they know enough of where they were going with this story that you could go back to season 1 and think, is this actually taking place in the finale of season 2?
Yeah.
Like her training him back to be Bernard. And a lot of people are saying like she left the park with 5 mind balls.
The 5 mind balls, yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, one of them's Bernard. No, it's not. She explicitly says that she recreated him from her memory.
Yeah.
If she had a mind ball, she wouldn't have to do that. Those things are intact and have all the data. So she recreated it. Like recreated Bernard.
Then how does he have all his memories then from what had happened if she just recreated him herself?
Well, they were saying like with the whole testing for fidelity thing.
Yeah.
She basically gave him all of his knowledge again, and built him how he was. And she had already built him once before.
Right.
When she made where they were trying to recreate Arnold. So she knows everything about him.
It's just too deep, man.
It's so deep. Real deep.
No. I don't know. Maybe I would go, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I tell everyone the show is great. You should definitely watch it. The show is great. It is great. But my whole thing is when I want to watch a show or I want to watch a movie, I want to just sit back, have a little bit of thinking to find some sort of twist or something, and just enjoy what I'm watching rather than having to think the whole damn time and watch for things to say, oh, hear this, hear that. So, and this show makes me think the whole time, even when I'm watching it live. So I just want to sit back and watch it instead of,
So you're lazy.
It's not being lazy. No, I'm saying going into the show knowing that there's so many timelines.
Entertainment to be a little lighter than that, not as heavy lifting on your part.
If I'm going to go see a movie, one movie that I'm going to watch for 2.5 hours, and it has this type of thing, I'm all in. when I'm
But
watching.
if it's serialized and it's like 10 hours of this, and you're like, God damn it, just I need some kind of conclusion. Like,
give me something, man, so I can say, okay, at least that storyline comes to an end, and I can think back and I know I get that. Let me move on to the other 7.
I'm not certain, but I thought I read that they have just 5 seasons in mind for this show.
Yeah.
But what frightens me is apparently this season had notably less viewers.
I saw that.
Like, first season averaged 13 million views an episode, and it's down to just over 10 million.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
And I don't get it, because even you said this season you think is superior.
I do.
To the first season.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it, like, your other qualm with it, having to, like, look at everything, like, what's going on, what's happening. I got to think about this. Should I be watching this? Is that should I be paying attention to that?
Should I really concentrate on what they're saying right now?
Is he fucking real?
Yeah.
Is he real?
Yeah.
Even the own character's like, am I fucking real? Goddamn Ed Harris cutting open his arm, like, I'm trying to find a fucking USB port.
Yeah, man.
So I wonder if, like, it got a little too heady for some people. They're like, I can't even fucking follow this shit anymore, and they just fucking quit.
I mean, I can see it. I can also see it where someone really, like I said, I would really love to have seen more of how guests interact and do a little more playing around with different people that come into Westworld and how they treat. I'd like to have seen more of that before it all just goes to shit. At the same time, I'm completely interested in seeing where it goes all to shit. So it's, I don't know.
See, I almost wonder if the next season, as the stuff's happening in the real world, and they're going to cut the scenes in the park, if we'll get some more of that.
Yeah, maybe.
If you actually have, here's the thought, having hosts from the real world, like Dolores's minions or even Dolores herself, come into the park as a guest and try to, like, do some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they can literally go anywhere. So that's intriguing for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not like Game of Thrones. I love so many characters in that. Man, I cannot wait until the next episode. I cannot wait until the next season. This didn't grab me like that. I mean,
Right. Aren't you so sad that we only get one more season?
I'm very sad. I am.
Although they're bringing to pilot at least one of the spinoffs.
It's gonna have to be something special for me to give a shit.
I think it's interesting. This is completely off. Like, I guess we're done with Westworld. I enjoyed season 2. Watch it, and yeah, that'd be great. At least with the Game of Thrones spinoff, they're like going way the fuck back.
Yeah, wasn't it like a million years or was
like
something?
So, like in the golden age.
Yeah,
I think when Valeria was still.
It does interest me.
A city and not decrepit with fucking rock men.
I wouldn't mind seeing the whole Mad King thing go down.
Yeah, like I wanted them to do just do a miniseries, like a 1-season series to go over Robert's Rebellion.
Yeah,
but Martin already said after the show's over, why would you need to see any of that? You know all you need to know about it. Because I want to fucking see it.
I want to see it. I want to see a great actor they bring in for the Mad King and then watch all that, him go crazy and do all the crazy shit he did to everybody. I want to see it. I want, I'd be all in to watch that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, do you got anything going on?
Just hopefully by the end of this week I'm done and I can get back into some other projects and whatnot. But no, I'm still in the same boat as last week and the week before that, and the week
before that, and before that.
Did you do any of your Lego stuff yet?
No.
You gotta start on that Death Star, man.
It's not a Death Star.
You gotta start on it.
Millennium Falcon, fuck.
It's just as big.
Well, I guess in the films, no.
I wonder if you put them side by side, if they're like at least the diameter.
All of like the Lego.
Yeah, it's about the same size.
The Falcon's bigger.
God, man, it's crazy.
It's fucking great. I got little brick heads. You saw my Batman and Joker. I got Doc and Marty from Back to the Future.
Did you really? Yeah. All right, that's pretty cool.
No, I'm gonna start. I need to port my old time lapse videos from my YouTube channel I first had to my Lego one. That's a project I need to do. And then I need to build a fucking set because I have several in that room right
I don't have the
over there.
patience for that, dude. I don't
It's
have
fun.
not with that many pieces. Your little Tron set, I'm all right with that. I'll do that. I'm serious. It's just
Your baby.
those big ass pieces, man. I no. I'm not looking at a fucking booklet for 18 days putting little block to little fuck all of that. No.
But you've written a book, and that's putting little
For God's
little
sakes.
blocks of letters together
But I'm not looking
with
at it
no fucking instructions. That's all in your goddamn head.
Right. I don't want to have to look back left to my right. Where the hell's that piece I need?
I bet you there's some fucking assholes out there that get a Lego set, throw the instructions away, and just try to fucking make it.
Oh, you know there is. You know what? I think you should do this. And I think you should videotape yourself an hour every day, no instructions, and watch it take you 6 years to figure out how to put it together.
And no matter what, it always looks like a dick.
Just watching you get more and more haggard. You can't see the fucking...
It'll be my version of the post credits of Westworld, where I'm just constantly trying to, no matter what, it like the Millennium Falcon just ends up looking like a robot dick instead of the Falcon.
And you've chewed your right hand off at some point.
Yeah. Or it's just that mangled from like pressing fucking Legos together. And I'm just like, I just want to die.
And I hope you're wearing the Man in Black costume by the end of it all.
Oh shit.
So until next time.
That was a little abrupt. You need, I know. I pointed at you, and
whenever you
that
point,
means close
listen
it.
To me, I've never gotten one of these.
If I point at you, you got. I know you're not a segue man.
Listen,
you're like, well, it's been great talking to you. My name is Mike. I'm gonna penetrate your ears. You know your usual thing.
All right.
Get in there.
So until next time, thank you for joining us and letting us get all up in you, because we're bored in Ohio. What?
I like the all up in you. That's a good change.
All right, good.
Penetrate to all up in you.
All up in you. We're gonna have t-shirts that just all one word, all the letters together, all up in you. It's my new word.
We could sell those.
We could sell those.